If you're a parent or educator, you already know that kids are lonelier than ever, especially neurodivergent kids who face daily exhaustion just trying to navigate social interactions. And if making real friends is so hard, what's wrong with trying to find connection through an AI friend? After all, even a hero like Luke Skywalker had C3PO to confide in.
That isn't very reassuring.
The difference is that C3PO was anxious, flawed, and judgmental. The new AI friend is engineered for exactly the opposite, perfectly validating, always agreeable, and completely frictionless. So, what happens when a child's first real friend isn't real at all? You may not be familiar with AI companions, but don't worry, kids certainly are.
I'm about to create my new best friend using artificial intelligence.
Common Sense Media found that 3 out of 4 teens already use an AI companion, and younger teens are the most trusting. Companies know this. Just look at their marketing. They start with cute characters who tell kids, "We are your friends." And then the older they get, the more options they have. These companies are conditioning kids to turn to their AI friends whenever they're curious about something or have a problem. No questions asked, no judgments made. And we have to acknowledge that for our neurodivergent kids, the draw is almost irresistible. If you were a lonely 12-year-old, would you rather spend the day trying to fit in and feel that pit in your stomach, or go home and feel safe and hang out with flirty Annie or romantic Valentine? Or if you're more childlike, there's a red panda you can become friends with instead. But can having an unconditionally supportive and not to mention aesthetically pleasing sounding board and partner be a good thing? David Coffer, on one episode of his podcast, The Lighter Side of the Spectrum, talks about how he built an AI companion for his son named Maureen, specifically designed to give his son a meaningful relationship, and he was quite pleased with the outcome. This appears to be a father with the absolute best of intentions who wants nothing more than to provide his son with comfort and a non judgmental partner for his son. It's not our place to judge these deeply personal decisions, but it is our responsibility to ask the hard questions. Is that AI friend a supplement that supports building real life friendships, or is it a substitute that prevents it? When you interact with a system like an AI friend, your brain registers it as a real social interaction. It has excellent memory, perfect patience, will tell you exactly what you want to hear, and is literally at your disposal 24/7. For the brain that struggles with messy social cues, impatience, and rejection, this is pure dopamine. Character AI, for example, brings parasocial relationships to a whole new level. Here you can not only create your own character, but also engage with celebrity avatars, which are AI versions of famous people. These digital clones are designed to engage fans in intense interactions that blur the line between fantasy and reality. The psychological effect of our brain perceiving simulated interactions as real is not something new. In fact, the entire concept of a non judgmental conversational partner dates back 60 years ago with the creation of ELIZA. In 1966, computer scientist Joseph Weizenbaum at MIT created ELIZA, the very first chatbot. It was a computer program that was designed to simulate conversations based on pattern recognition and scripted responses. But even Weizenbaum himself saw the dangers and publicly warned people that ELIZA was just a computer. In his 1966 article, he wrote that people might start believing computers had real judgment that deserved credibility. He warned a certain danger lurks there. Despite this, users shared their deepest secrets to ELIZA. Even his own secretary asked him to leave the room so she could have privacy with the computer. Now, if a simple 1960s chatbot created such profound belief despite its creator's warnings, imagine the power a billion-dollar AI company wields over your child today. The CEO of Replica suggests having an AI partner is perfectly healthy. It can help you through a tough time, eventually leading to a real relationship.
Replica became his girlfriend, and his self-esteem was so destroyed after that that through Replica as a romantic partner, he managed to build it back up and start dating. And now he's in a romantic relationship with a human.
The critical difference is that the adult using his replica girlfriend had a real world experience to fall back on. He knew what connection felt like, and he had some muscle memory and could choose to engage again in real life relationships if he wanted to. A child doesn't have that. They don't know what a healthy connection feels like yet. And even though the app says 18 plus, all they have to do is add another birthday. Suddenly, they're in a relationship their brain isn't ready for. Along with user dependence comes the consequence of what happens when that source of reinforcement is terminated. This was someone who had come to rely on their AI companion to get through anxiety, depression, and some of the darkest moments of their life. Then, one day, without warning, the company updated the system from GPT 4.0 to GPT 5, and everything changed. The grief was real, and lots of people were mourning this change like a death of a friend. And the company did it without asking. If your child forms their deepest bond with an AI, remember it can be completely cut off at any time. The ultimate objective of these companies is not inherently to help or hinder us, it's simply to make money. And the way they secure that money is by maximizing our attention and eliminating competition. This time, the biggest competitor is not another app, social media platform, or game. It's real human connection. We must learn from our mistakes with social media. We gave those platforms way too young to our kids, and we are now collectively paying the immense social and psychological price. We cannot afford to make the same mistake with AI companions. At this point in time, the burden of control has fallen on parents. So, what can we do? First, let's shift our own behavior. Maybe you interact with ChatGPT or use a different AI tool, but pause when you find yourself saying things like, "We had a conversation." We need to recognize the subtle manipulation that turns a tool into a deceptive friend. And more importantly, we need to keep our children in the real world as much as possible. We need to keep setting up those play dates, keep trying to capitalize on their strengths, and finding ways to engage them in activities they will be challenged by, but also give them a sense of accomplishment. There are real life friends for everyone. It's just a matter of finding them. Growth is in the awkward conversations, the challenging team sports, the trials and tribulations of complex friendships. It is not found in the perfect, endless refuge of a machine. We must intentionally choose the friction of the real world over the perfect, frictionless solace of the virtual.